Yeah, it's true. Rejection sucks. Whether you rejected from that university you applied for, or whether you rejected from that relationship. The one that we're going to be talking about today is the rejection from the tech job offer.
Okay.
You get that dreaded email, you get that dreaded rejection letter, and you feel like your dream search for that tech role is down, right? You feel like it's over. But what I want to encourage you with is that this is not the end of that tech journey, that way of searching for that job. But I want to encourage you, this might just be the beginning. So in the video, I'm going to give you more and more information and more advice of what do you do after the rejection letter. Come along, hit the description section, and we'll go ahead and explore this. What do you do after the rejection? Hi, and welcome back to another Struggle Security YouTube video where we are normalizing struggling in cybersecurity. And the subject for today is to talk about what do you do after you receive the rejection letter from the tech job, right? What do you do after that? Because many of you might think that after that rejection letter, that's the end of the story. And I want to tell you that that's actually not the end of the story. That's not the end of your job search. And that's not the end of you looking for and trying to secure your perfect and your dream tech role. And I want to give you 3 pieces of advice that will tell you what to do after the rejection letter to help you be better equipped to landing that dream role.
Why are you crying?
So the first piece of advice is to ask why you didn't get the job. Ask. It's okay to ask why you didn't get the role because many people might be a little sheepish. They might feel as if, okay, you rejected me. Let me just walk away. Let me just be quiet. Let me just move to the back. Where no, I think that your assertiveness is very good in this place because knowing why you didn't get the job role can help you land the next role, can help you land your dream role. And I want to give you a couple of reasons, additional reasons of why you want to ask why you didn't get the job. Many times we want to jump into a role, we want to get that job, but sometimes interviewers can identify areas where we might need some areas of improvement because we don't want to jump into a role and be unsuccessful. So that might be something that the interviewer might express to you if you ask. Probably the last one is that there might have been another candidate that is more equipped and better to get that role or to work in that particular role. These are some questions to really answer when you're asking the question of, hey, why didn't I get this particular role? And there could be some positive outcomes here. Because you didn't get the role, that's the end, but some positive outcomes might be that the hiring manager might be impressed with you, really asking you why you didn't get, or really you asking why you didn't get that role, that they might see that your skill set aligns with a different role. They might see that your skill set aligns with something different within the organization. Another possible outcome is that there might have been the number one candidate might reject that job offer. And you, as the only person that possibly reached out for that role, you might be next in line in order to get an offer for that job. And I've done this several times, right? There's been plenty of job offers that I've rejected. And I'm sure that because I was the number one candidate, that they had a number 2 candidate, a number 3 candidate, and maybe even a number 4 candidate in mind for that role. So you could be that 2, 3, or 4 that role. If you reach back out to ask why you didn't get that role, you could be at the top of the interviewers or the hiring manager's mind.
Okay. Whatever you say.
The number 2 piece of advice I would say is to keep applying. Keep applying. A rejection letter, like I mentioned earlier, is not the end of your job search. It is not the end, and this is not a time to stop, but in many cases, it can be the beginning. Looking at the statistics, the more you apply, the greater chance there is for you to land that dream tech role and dream cybersecurity role. There are so many different vacancies in tech and cybersecurity these days that there are more jobs than there are individuals to fill those jobs. So 1, the more that you apply, the better chance you have. And 2, the fact that there are so many vacancies, that just increases your chance. So look at the numbers. The numbers are in your favor. The numbers are in your favor. So the more that you apply, so number 2 advice is to keep applying. Keep applying, apply to jobs that are relevant to your skill sets and experience. The number 3 advice I have for you is to connect with the job recruiter and the interviewer, the hiring manager or the interviewer, whoever interviewed you, on LinkedIn. Connect with these individuals on LinkedIn and make them a part of your digital professional network. Make them a part of your network. Just like I mentioned before, they're not your enemies. These people are not against you. You just might not have been the right candidate for that particular role. So the thing about this is that these people have an understanding of your experience. They've seen your resume to the point where you've been able to get an interview. So if they see you posting different things, updates about different certifications, different conferences that you've attended, different skills that you're acquiring, and they also know about your background and experience, there's a higher chance for them to reconsider you for different roles within that same organization. So that's the third piece of advice that I want to give you. And here, I want to give you an example of that ask from number one, why you didn't get that particular role. Let me show you that right here. So this here is an example of a question or an email that you can send to the hiring manager to say, hey, why didn't I get this? So this one is specifically, this is just an example, and I have links in the description for where these examples are. This is for a sales manager position. You're putting your name, first name, last name. Let me just read it to you. It says, it was a pleasure meeting with you about the sales manager position at ABC Enterprises. I really appreciate the time you spent speaking with me about the position, your company's climate and history, and the wonderful opportunities available within the organization. While I am disappointed that my experience isn't quite what you are looking for this position, I am still very interested in the company. I would appreciate your further consideration should another position become available that you feel will be a better fit for my skills. Thank you for the time and encouragement. Best regards, boom, right? This is a very good example of a response emails asking them, or like a follow-up to the interview, to just reiterate that even though I didn't get this job, I still am very interested in the organization. I'm interested in the company culture. And if there are further opportunities, boom, right? Those are the pieces of information that I want to tell you for you to keep going. After the rejection letter, keep going and keep going. I want to give a small example about my own personal life. There were times, right? I'm a married man, and I've been married for 5.5, 6 years now. And the thing about it is that my wife was not the first woman that I considered, not necessarily for marriage, but as a girlfriend, right? A relationship. And there were times where I would talk to young ladies and ask them, hey, do you want to be my girlfriend? Do you want to be together, right? And they would say no.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no.
I know. It's hard to believe that somebody would say no to me, but I'm just joking. But I've gotten rejection letters, right? In the verbal rejection letters in relationships with young ladies. And the thing about it is that if I had stopped at the first rejection or the second rejection or the third rejection, I would never have found my wife, right? And I think that same analogy can be applied to that of searching and applying for different roles. Just because you've been rejected does not mean that's the end of the story. You keep going and you keep going and you keep going. So I just want to leave this piece of advice there for you. Number one, ask them why you didn't get that role. Number two, keep applying. And number three, add these individuals to your LinkedIn profiles to be added to your professional digital network. I hope this has been valuable to you. Come back for more and more of the Struggle Security YouTube channel, and I will give you more and more information about these different subjects in cybersecurity and IT as a whole. Put your ideas and maybe even some of your experience in the description section, in the comment section, and we'll talk more and more about these subjects. Thanks again. See you later.